Evening, and welcome to another edition of Tell the Truth, Shame the Devil. I'm Jennings Bernard, your host. As always, you can catch me right here on Facebook Live each and every day, Monday through Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. As always, tell a friend to tell a friend that Tell the Truth, Shame the Devil is on the air. You know what we do here. We talk business, legal, social, but most of all, we talk politics because politics is everything. And everything, ladies and gentlemen, is politics. Welcome in. Good evening to each and every one of you. We hope that you've been keeping warm. I have. I went out one time today to take care of some business. Came back here wrapped up and covered up. Uh, I've been that way until I came on to see you and to talk to you. We hope everything is well with you. There is a lot going on here in the city of Memphis. I'm kind of wrapping up and trying to go out as less as I possibly can because it seemed as though I was trying to catch something, but I took plenty of those Alka-Seltzer Plus. Now, I don't know if you can take them or not, but they do a lot for me, uh, making me uh, feel a little better on my way back. But my voice is still not what is normally. But hey, that's happened. That's the reason I tell you all I don't like the winter weather. But I'm blessed and I'm thankful for every day God send my way, as my grandmother used to say. But I just don't like winter weather. How many of you like winter weather, and how many of you don't? Or do you just like to just enjoy the summertime or the summer weather, fall weather? You can give me anything as it relates to weather. If it's uh, hot, I can deal with it. I can deal with the cold, and that goes back from my days in the Marine Corps, up in those mountains of California and others, where the temperature drops wow at night, and you're up there camping out, going through your training, and it was something about that. On top of this, sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, it would rain. You would be in the midst of your tent. Everybody would run across a buddy in the tent with them that always wanted to know if it was true that when it's pouring down raining and you're in a tent, if you touch the roof of it, will it start leaking where he touched the roof? And I had a soldier friend of mine that in the tent with me, and he asked a question and he wanted to see it. I told him, don't do it. I said, well, if you do it, you better do it on your side. And what happened? Raindrops falling on him in that tent. He learned a lesson. I already knew it because I was a Cub Scout, I was a Boy Scout. I've been through all of those scouting things as it relates to camping and understanding. Appreciate those things that I learned at an early age that carried me on through my military career. And I thank God for my mother and father and grandmother who gave me the opportunity to go through those phases in my life. And from that, I learned a whole lot and prepared me as I became a young man and a man later on and understood elements, outdoors, and some other things that I learned along the way. I really do appreciate you. I mean, I have to say that over and over again. Excuse me. Look like I need to push this monitor out the way so it won't be in the view of the camera. As I said, it's a lot to talk about here. And first of all, I want to welcome, and I know a lot of politicians, they watch this show, they listen to this show, they may not make a comment, but we know that they're listening. And after I posted those videos of Yolanda Cooper Smith, City Councilwoman, uh, I saw where she made a laughing emoji as it relates to what I was talking about. And I sent her an invitation. Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, I sent her a message asking her to come on to the show. She went off and raving as it relates to information that I already knew, that the city and the county is broke and they are living paycheck to paycheck. And it's been said by Chairman Avan on the county commission side, along with Nick Wright, uh, who is the commissioner, that they're taking from Peter to pay Paul. The city, in my opinion, after Yolanda Cooper Smith, city councilwoman, said that, hey, we are broke. She said that I've been on here for about a year, maybe a half, and I'm seeing some things. So, what she was looking at the fact that they're basically taking from Peter to pay Paul. And she went on to get on the union for asking for a raise and saying, you got to work with us. And I want to talk to her about that. I want to ask her if the city council is the only thing that you have coming in, Yolanda Cooper. I want to ask you if somebody tell you that on your job or tell you down at the city council that we can't give you your salary or we can't increase your salary on the job, would you be happy? You slam real hard the union because they are asking for raises, cost of living raises, and that's basically what it is, cost of living raises, because things go up every year. Sometimes you look at it, and my wife often talk about going to the store and seeing that certain prices, whether it be eggs or bread or whatever, how it's going up. And we thank God that we are blessed to be able to deal with the situation as it progresses, as it relates to uh, prices. But not all people are in the position that you are in, Councilwoman. We're not in that position. And when I say we, I'm talking about the community as a whole. And you're really not in that position. But I thought it was wrong for you to go off on the union because they're asking for something that they're rightly deserving of, and that is uh, increase, whether it be uh, their salary or whether it be uh, cost of living, because we are losing. And the union president, matter of fact, I got to get a call into him. I want him to come on and talk about this situation that they're in. Try to reach the police union. And matter of fact, I can have both of them in the studio at the same time if they wish to come, and we can talk back and forth in regard to this, because you need to know, you ask the individual. I've served in a position as a first responder, as you well know, at the sheriff's department uh, for many years, and retired from the sheriff's department. And we wanted to increase the cost of living uh, because of what we do and because of the inflations or whatever the situation is. So when I hear a city council person, county commission person that is selfish in their thoughts and they don't think it out before they speak, then hey, I want to talk to you when you're doing right, and I want to talk to you when you're doing wrong. I left you my number. I texted it to you. You have yet to call me back. Uh, Yolanda Cooper Smith, I want you to give me a call and let us talk about that. And see if you want to stand up. Now, when the cameras is on you and you sitting there in the city council chair and you saying this, well, come and talk to me, which have the heartbeat of so many in the community who watch me every day. And my numbers are continuing to go up. higher and higher each and every month. We have been blessed to have people looking across the board and seeing how many people are listening to us. And I ask all of you who listen in the thousands uh, listeners every month to subscribe to this program. Go down and push the subscribe button, as I always say, and then after that, go over to MemphisRealTalk.com. Before anybody else had that name, Memphis Real Talk, I had it all 20, almost 25 years ago. Now I see people got Talk Memphis and all the other things, but uh, the original. Uh, and the one and only who came out with Memphis Real Talk. We back and on that website it's called MemphisRealTalk.com. Memphis Real Talk is one word and then .com. It'll take you straight to the website and look at what is going on with the website and the great people that are behind building the website, doing the thing, and putting it together. I see a long term future in what we're trying to do and the people that I'm working with uh, that's ready, willing, and able to help me to serve you. And they are the team that keep us up on the website and keep us uh, doing things as it relates to tell the truth and shame the devil. And that's what we want to do. And when you don't want to come, when I give you an invitation, and you just say somebody done told you not to come on the show, then that shows me who you are and what credibility that you have. And it says to me, you have no credibility at all. If you can't come on this show and be questioned and asked, but yet you want to go to where the people will ask you the soft question, where the people that you need to face are the people who listening to this show every day. The people in North Memphis, South Memphis, East Memphis, West Memphis, but majority of the people that look like me are listening and watching. They see you on television, but they want to get in person to person, down home, talking to you. And that's what you get here. We're going to ask you the question that the people really need to know. There's no cameras other than the cameras in this studio. These cameras are worldwide. You know, we get people listen to us from other places as opposed to the United States. Uh, and this is the internet, and it goes worldwide. But what I'm focusing on more than anything is focusing on what's happening in this community that we call Memphis, Tennessee. There's something wrong that's happening when you sit in the seat of power. Yolanda Super, Cooper, Sutton, whatever. Yeah, we we want you to come here and talk to the people, city councilwoman, and see what the people think. You know, they hearing what they said you did and all of that, and I listened to it over and over again, maybe three different times. And we want you to come in and talk to us as well. Not only that, some of the regulars who come and talk to us, uh, we're gonna get them back because some of them are now running for position, and I'll wait until I hear from her. If I hear from her, fine. If not, I'll let you know, and then you take it from there. Because this program is just as important to the community as any television program. You look for that television program, whether 3, 5, 13, 24, 30, or whatever, they bring you information, but we are also bringing you information as well. But we're going to get to the nitty gritty, as they used to say, when it comes to you getting the information that the TV show may not tell you. But we're going to ask those questions on your behalf so you will know as well. Well, let me say this too. When we talk about politicians, here we go. Some of them are now deciding that they're going to run for different positions. They've been in positions for years and they want to run for other position. And some of them are legitimate running because they want to make a difference in the community. But those are individuals that few and far between uh, that really wants to make a difference. Most politicians, individuals, I've always said is a few things that they want: money, position, and fame. Those are the things that are capturing the politicians nowadays. It's not like the old politicians. They ran and they got the money, but they made a difference in the community. You could pick up the phone, and my grandmother, I remember, never will forget a problem. She had a problem with her Social Security, and someone told her to call Hal Ford Sr. And he called the office, and just in a few days, it was corrected. Do you think you can do that and get it done in the ninth congressional district now? I said to you, no, you can't get it done. Some of you may have gotten it done. If you have, feel free to give me a call at 901 288 5779. Again, 901 288 5779, and we can talk about it. But nowadays, it's a different politician, it's a different individual who want to talk about who needs what and who don't need it as it relates to the people who are footing the bill to pay them. Those individuals who are getting paid by the taxpayer, telling others who are working to keep us safe, to keep your house from burning down to the ground if they can get there in time, who need the equipment to make sure that you are taken care of, but yet you're going to tell them you already got 40,000. What is $40,000 in this economy now? Is that a starting salary, or is that a probationary salary until you get out of probation? What is it? Uh, the union president of the fire department said that you're losing people every time you deny uh, giving them raises. You lose 6 or 7 people a week that are going to other municipalities, going to other states where they can start off and make a decent living. If you're going to be in law enforcement, if you're going to be a first responder, and Memphis, Tennessee refused to pay you what you rightly deserve, that's the reason why we are losing people. So we're going to get him in here if he's willing to come and talk about it. And I understand while they're still negotiating, it may be a problem for them to come. But after the negotiations is over, then if they can come and want to sit down and talk, because I'm a person, I just don't give up. I keep calling, but I'll call you a few times. But after you don't answer, then I'll do what I do and let the people know where you stand. And when I say that I see individuals running, I notice and kick off again some people who really, in my opinion, are not rightly deserving to be in those positions because they haven't done anything while they're in that position. You're coming up on your first term as a county commission. My question would be to you: what have you done, Eric Sugarman, to be worthy of another term? Uh, saw a video that you put where you say your boots are on the ground. I'm waiting to see the boots on the ground. I'm not talking about boots on the ground knocking on doors. That's not what it's about. Boots on the ground to me means that you're doing something that makes the ground, the situation of the people that you represent better. That's what I call boots on the ground, not listening to a song and you twisting back and forth. That means nothing. And if anybody accept that as something positive to me, then something is wrong with the individual who put you in office. Boots on the ground mean that you're doing a job, Commissioner Sugarman. You're doing a job, but I have yet to see anything worthwhile that you're doing. And we're going to talk about these other candidates that I'm seeing. Some are now building a brand if they are connected. I see another young man is running for the school board, I think out of District 12. He's a porter. We already have a porter uh, on the school board. So everybody is have the opportunity to run. I'm not knocking that, but I'm going back to the name that we so familiar with, that we put people in office because of name and not because of qualification. And I have a problem with that. And other people, I commend them for jumping in the race against those individuals who voted to get rid of the superintendent. All of them need to be replaced, all six of them. And I think they're going to have opposition and going to have good opposition to replace them, especially, Lord knows, uh, Tawana Murphy. If God would speak to you, he'd probably ask, what were you thinking? Because she has proven to me, and I've long known Tawana for a long time when she came into radio. It was something not quite right, in my opinion, back then. But it's been proven. But then what was the people thinking? Was it no one else in that race that was qualified in your mind? Or was it all about what you saw on Facebook as opposed to not knowing anything about it? And we do that. You can be too strong, and people will say, well, I can't vote for him or I can't vote for her because she's too strong. She's saying some things or he's saying some things that would upset the apple cart. Well, you're supposed to. You're supposed to go in there to serve, and to serve by any means necessary that's positive as opposed to the negativity. I don't want to hear about my representative doing something negative. I want to hear about them doing something positive for the community. North, South Memphis, East, West Memphis. I want to see things done. I don't want to see things that are being done more in East Memphis, while South Memphis and North Memphis are suffering, and West Memphis are suffering because of the lack of uh, leadership. And that's what we have. And it's time for us to stand up to the plate and make that difference. And speak up, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't speak up, if you don't get concerned about your situation, it's going to continue to happen. And we're going to be in trouble because Cooper, uh, Councilwoman Sutton said that, hey, we broke. And see, we keep on patching up Memphis by taking from Peter to pay Paul. Sooner or later, you're going to have to file for bankruptcy. You're going to have to start all over. And you know what happened when the poor leadership in the state of Tennessee, who Memphis is a part of, and in Nashville see that you can't run your city, they gonna take it over. Just like they're about to do when it comes to the school system. Now, I give them kudos in regard to when it comes to that school board. The money that's being played, the contracts that are being given, the big deals that are being made with big wheels while they're eating big meals, and you sitting here trying to put a meal together. Well, you know what I said? Now all the holidays over. You got your fish sandwich. You don't ate the turkey that gave you and the fixing that went along with it. Now what? Now what do you do? See, they give you a fish sandwich, and I say it all the time that they give you a fish sandwich to eat for a day. But our politicians should be teaching you how to fish. They should talk about VOTEX program as it relates to the people. And I understand the young people. They want to do things quick, fast, and in a hurry. Whether it's legal or illegal, they want things quick. And as it relates to that, nobody wants to work with their hands anymore. My father They're tire working, you know that, and I've told you many times. For 47 years before he got sick and could no longer work, he raised 6 kids. My mother, my father, my grandmother, all he was out there doing that trade for 47 years or more. And he did a good trade. He had a good living. And we were blessed to have him as a father as well as mother and grandmother because they knew that a man is worthy of his hire, but he's also worthy to make a living with his hands. So when I hear young people talk about they don't want to learn how to fix on a car, automotive repair makes good money. You know, you go get an oil change at certain dealerships and it's $350 depending on the car you drive just for an oil change. I remember when back in the day we would go under the shade tree, get us an oil pan, jack the car up, take off the filter, let the oil drain, and put new oil in it, plug it back up, put the filter back on, and boom, we was ready to go. That was something that we learned to do on our own. And there are people are millionaires who own mechanic shops. There are people who are plumbers, a millionaire who own a plumbing business. You look around and see a lot of these plumbing and air conditioned uh, vehicles going. They're just not in the street to go back and forth and not making money. They're making cash money, especially when it's 90 degrees or 100 degrees in Memphis and your AC go out. Oh, they glad to come serve you because you finna pay good money to get that air on. And once that air is on, after it's been off for a few days and it starts blowing back in the house, you thankful and you willing to pay the cost to get it back on. So, young people, you got to get away from that. That you don't want to get into Votech. Votech will give you a good living if you so choose it. If you want to go into law enforcement and other things, and I always say there's so many people that are in school that in the criminal justice field. Some may become lawyers, others may become uh, law enforcement officers. But we got a lot of people over there at the HBCU, the Moore uh, and as well as the University of Memphis that are in the criminal justice field. But if they're not getting paid here, they're going to take that talent, whether they join the Memphis Police Department, get the skill, and then go somewhere else. And that's what's happening. Beside the poor leadership that we looking at, we seeing every day in this city. When will we wake up? And the biggest problem, ladies and gentlemen, is our leadership. We are failing not because we got the best leaders and the best leadership. We are failing because we got leaders who are not the best as it relates to figuring this thing out. See, it's more to it than you sitting in the chair like I'm sitting in. Sit out here and say, well, this person deserves, this person don't. And then you turn around and get all of these grants out. And what I said to Councilwoman Sutton, I said to her, uh, if you would go and tell the administration, and you all work with the administration to find out where that $77.7 million went, that deficit, if you could find out who pocket that money went in, if you can get that money back, which likely you may not be able to get it back, but if you could get that deficit back, you can pay the fire department, the police department. And that's a problem that we have. Too many people want to play with the money and take the money. Now some of you say, oh, you saying that they're taking money? Yeah, they've been taking money for years. Every now and then, the FBI comes in, they look at some things after enough complaints have been levied. They'll come in, they'll do their research. It may take 2, 3 years for them to research, and they come down, and the next thing you know, Is that knock at the door at 3 o'clock in the morning, or come on your job and say, "Come go with us," because we see that this is happening and this misappropriation, and you end up you've seen it before, and just because you've seen it before, do you think it's gonna stop? It's obvious, ladies and gentlemen, what is happening. See, the problem is, and I'm gonna say this: when you get elected and you don't go along with the ball game, then there's a problem with the powers that be that making the deal for you to get into office. Let's think about this. For the city council person who worked on the city council, think about it, Caswell, uh, city council person, got him on my Facebook page, who said he recused himself because his brother's company is going to receive $30 million as relates to running the hotel. Uh, so I'm gonna recuse myself on that vote. You may recuse yourself, but your influence is still there. Why do I say that? I say that because you are a council person that's just not there. You know, when you're not there, business still go on. You may not be there to vote, but that don't make you clear of what just happened. Your family members benefited from something that you are a council person, whether you recuse yourself or not, you still have the influence. So here we are, the taxpayers and the people out here trying to make a living. But a family member of yours, through the influence of you being on the council, end up in that position. Now, what is wrong with that, ladies and gentlemen? Y'all find something I do. I don't care whether you recuse yourself. Truly, to be honest, if your brother was going to bid for it and then more than likely he got the bid, you should have just resigned from the position. But you can't resign because you know what's going on, in my opinion. And you want to try to make yourself look like you're doing something when you recuse yourself from a vote that your family member still benefiting for. Come on, that's politics 101. That's how people get rich in government. I had one of the listeners to talk to text me and say, uh, Bernard, this has been going on for years. And then there's a pause in there where you usually say stop. When he said this has been going on for years, my brain says stop. That's the part that we need to deal with. It's been going on for years. Stop. We need to stop it from going on for years. Then he went on to say, big business, businesses, and others have always benefited from the city and county government. Stop. If they always have benefited, then there's something wrong on that part of the statement. We need to address that. This has always happened. This has always been. Boom. Let's stop that. Let's change the scenario. This has always been. Let's address that and say it will no longer be, as opposed to this always been. And that's your job as a representative. If something has always been, then you need to stop it, address it. If it is a conflict of interest matter, or if people are just starting businesses and having contact, they end up getting a hotel, the citizen putting up the money, whether it's bond or whatever, you got to pay it as taxpayer. Then turn around and say $8 million to make sure that they run the hotel and get things up to par, and you're not going to see anything from it in the 2 years that it's going to take to prepare the hotel. Now his brother and his company is going to be running it, getting it in place, and you on the council, your brother got the $30 million. You all don't find something wrong with that. You have to change the narrative of what's been going on and putting us in debt over and over and over again. When you look at the major names in this city, look at how much money have they made off of city and county government. What did they do? How did they get there? They got there because of the good old buddy buddy plan. You know, this city has long been a city that is ran by the power that be and the influencer in this city. In this city, and the thing that gets me is that black folks that look like me and look like you that look like me are now taking the same mentality and using it against their own people. But they call it wheeling and dealing. I call it thieving and robbery from the community. And see, our politician, and when I say our, I'm talking about the black politician, are not strong enough to stand up and say, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to deal with it. Yolanda Cooper Sutton, she said it. Uh, but then again, the media made her back grab. They made her step back. She said, well, maybe I used some language that I probably shouldn't have used. Well, you made your point. You got the people's attention by using the language that you use. It got people attention. Now move forward with what you're doing. In other words, I've always been an individual that says I will never apologize for anything I've done if I'm committed to what I'm saying. Because if I said it, I want to make a difference. I want to get your attention. And for you to come back and say, well, hey, Bernard, you said this and that was a little strong. And I'll say to you, I meant it. I meant it to be strong. I meant it to get your attention and get you to understand this situation. And when I say, and I hear people say, this been going on for a long time, then if I say, the hell with that, it's time for us to change that narrative. I said, the hell with that. Then you're going to come back and say to me, well, you made a strong statement. I made it for a reason. I said, the hell with what's going on in our community, and it needs to stop. I'm not going to come back and you get a camera in my face and tell me, oh, Bernard, you said so and so, so. I said, yeah, and I'm going to add something to you. You say I said, the hell with that, but listen to what I'm finna tell you. Get the hell out of my face. And I made a point to you that you're going to think twice as it relates to what you come to me asking me about what I said. And if you don't do it, then there may be some other repercussion for you not getting the hell out of my face. Don't question me in regard to what I say or what I do if I represent the people. Because what the people want, they want a strong representative. They don't want a boy in office trying to do a man's job. They don't want politicians that's there because they got a family name. They want individuals there to be bold and brazen enough to stand up and say, this is what need to be done. And until we get people like that, and all of you young people that are coming into office, if you're not strong enough, you're not brazen enough, don't run. Because the city is dying. The city is on the verge of being broke, and it's a broke. Because when you take from Peter, you're waiting on your check, you broke. You can make $100,000 a year, but if your bills are $120,000 a year, you broke. And the city keep making mistakes over and over again when it comes to buying a hotel. You know we didn't need no hotel. We need to find out where that money went. Over and over the years, after all of these years, we always have a deficit. And what do we do with the deficit? We plug it up by raising your taxes. And that day is over. And if you don't do it in 26, you're going to forever have the position taken from Peter to pay Paul. Get in here. Start running for these positions. Take out them six, and we'll talk about them, put their picture up later on as we politics in full swing. Come January 1st, you'll see more and more signs and all of that. Look beyond the sign and look at the individual and see are they worthy of your vote. Don't allow a person to come to you with a ballot. He's getting paid. She's getting paid for that ballot. And they paying you to get out there in the hot sun while they sit back in a air conditioned car or house and you out there and they come around making sure you got a chicken sandwich and that this feeds you for that day. They're not giving you enough money like they're making off of that ballot. Understand something. When somebody give you a ballot and say, push this ballot here for so and so, so and so, they making money out there pushing the ballot. And there's somebody behind the screen that's getting paid big money to have them out there pushing the ballot to get you to get it. But have enough sense to say, no, you can't take this vote from me. This vote was given to me by way of sacrifices. People hung, died, suffered to have you to have the right to vote. And you're going to give it away? You're going to give it away because you are part of a fraternity or a sorority. And they said, we're going to go with, look at the Kappas. You all went with the Kappas and the AKAs, went with the Kappas, and look what you got in office. A bunch of nothing Kappas. And I can stand firmly and say that because I see what you got in City Hall. Is the Kappa that don't know the ground from the hole in the ground. I'm going to put it like that, but you know what I'm actually saying. And you're saying it. You're saying it every day that you make comments on this Facebook page. You're making comments now on the website, which is memphisrealtalk.com. And then when you make the comments, we get it. We see what you want. And whatever you want us to talk about, we'll feel free to talk about it and bring it forward. I mean, the question you have and you want me to look into it, I'll look into it, ladies and gentlemen, without any hesitation or reservation. It's time for you to wake up. It's time to take this here opportunity. What we are doing here, whether I'm here or I'm not here, this is a mechanism right now that you can make a difference. Look at the two knuckleheads. That here we go again. Black leadership. Keep in mind, black leadership that people are looking at all over the country. You got the ignorant, uh, in my opinion, county mayor. Then you got a dummified sheriff in Floyd Bonner and Lee Harris. They fighting each other. Two black men couldn't come together on behalf of the community and do the right thing. They said a long time ago, okay, all right, black folks are the majority. We'll let them have it. And look at the school board. They let you have it because you were the majority of it. And look what happened. They let you have City Hall. And look what's happening. Spending money to the point that we don't have any money. Look at the majority of people on that City Hall, uh, City Council. Look at them. They look like you and I. And look at it. It's all messed up. Look at them. AI, supercomputer here because of those black folks and the minority individuals on it. But you are the majority on there. Look at the things that are happening in the community and the world see that it's black folks that can run a city. whether it be the county or the city. We are a mess when it comes to leadership in this city. And what we need to start doing is forming and getting ourselves together to be a force within this community. And it'll only happen until we get away from fraternities, sororities, and come as communities. What sorority, what fraternity should speak loudly than your community? And they do. Oh, I see them all around here now. They dressing up and they going and this and that, and they want to make a difference. Anthony Bailey, good evening to you, and good evening to all of you who are listening but don't make a comment. We want you to make a comment as well. All right. We said that I believe the change is happening in our state. Well, I hope so. I hope that a change is coming in 226. It's got to happen because we're heading for destruction if we don't make a change. And we need to go into the black community and bust up, break up all these wannabe power brokers. And you know their name. I'm gonna put them up. I'm gonna call them a power broker. I'm gonna put the names up. And I know who they are. I've watched them. I've seen them. Uh, they have went against me as it relates to politics. I know who they are. I know the game. And they said, "Whatsoever man soweth, that shall he reap." And the time comes, I'm making no uh, if and buts about it. If I have to help you to get your reaping time, I'm gonna do it. Because whoever for the wind shall reap the whirlwind. And those individuals who have made money off of this city, trying to be a power broker, trying to, your whirlwind, believe me, is coming. It's coming to you. If the right complaint is being filed with the right information, your whirlwind is coming. And understand this here. Your whirlwind is coming to you as quick as somebody that knows what you are doing, you piss them off. And when you do that, your whirlwind is coming. And then you're going to have to pay the price for what you have done and what you tried to do over these years. One way or the other, your whirlwind is coming. And it's coming because you have robbed this city. You have made money when you weren't qualified to make the money. If a forensic audit is done right, your whirlwind is around the corner. And it may be coming to you sooner than you expect. It may be coming to you in 2006. Caller, you on there. Go ahead. Caller, you on there? No, no, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you calling in. I'm talking about the whirlwind. Gonna come. It's coming in 226 now. Uh, when I was talking about just a moment ago before you called the two uh, unqualified individuals that button heads now, that is Mayor Lee Harris and Floyd Monk. One can't run the county, one can't run the county, the other can't run the sheriff's department. What do you say? Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Well, you look, let me ask you this, and you're an entrepreneur. You got your own business, you do what you do in the mental health field, and as a business owner, you know that you can't pull from Peter to pay Paul as it relates to running a business effectively. Uh, we have the Cooper Smith, the city council person, who boldly just said the other day that the city of Memphis is broke, and said that basically they have to take from Peter to pay Paul. She said to the union, "You all ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're going to want us to give you a raise. The mayor didn't want to give you a raise, but we went on and gave you the raise. We increased the salary to 40,000." Uh, she just went off, but I'm trying to get her to come on and talk. And now, but then I said a moment ago that when you know that you're broke, why do you go buy a hotel? When you know that you're broke, why are you making increases on situations dealing with city government? Why are you giving away grants to nonprofits when you know you're broke? And my question to her is that you're saying we're broke, and you're saying that you can't give the fire department, police department, whatever percentage, 2%. But I told them go look for that $77.7 million deficit. If you found out where that money is going and found out whose pocket is in it, maybe you can pay the first responder. What say you? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
The school system was given $700 some thousand first of money during the COVID time. They're supposed to go and take care of various resources, expenses for the school. We got to see what the audit is going to say about that. And we're talking about $43 million missing, or they have a shortfall. And you said Rob Peter to pay Paul.
Right.
I don't understand. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a accountant or anything like that. But I do know this much.
Okay.
As a business owner and this is my household expenses. That's a budget I operate with. I know what I need. I know what my expenses are. I know what I'm going to pay out. I know what has to come in to sustain myself.
Right.
You got a budget. Your budget, and you know what your expenses are. You know what you have to pay out in payroll. You know what you have to pay out in all the other line items that you, in fact, are going to be operating with for the fiscal year. I don't understand how we go over the budget or we can't find money or $40-some million missing and we don't know what nothing is. When you know this is the budget you're operating with, the money that you're taking in every year, and what's actually going out.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes you wonder, where all these people being good stewards of the taxpayer dollar. I think not. When we start talking about money, when we can't find it's missing,
Mm-hmm.
or we never get no real. The public never gets an explanation of these things. But now you would be surprised with the number of lawsuits that the state and county pay out each year.
Mm-hmm.
Each year, that they pay out of the resources they use to pay. There are taxpayer dollars that we know nothing about. We know nothing about. So man, I just don't think that the money is being spent that way. So when it comes time for the firefighters or the police officers to get a need a raise, or we're losing people because we're not paying them well, then you know what? We talk about we don't have it. But you're still spending in other areas that really don't benefit the masses of the people. I don't understand how the hotel benefits the masses of the people.
I don't
I
either.
understand progression and trying to progress and be the progressive city and how you bring and attract other companies and businesses here. I get that. But at the same token, we got a lot of fixing on the ground that need to take place before we start doing some other things. Some bigger things. It's not where we need to be.
Well, I said this to you, Brother Rick, is that they said somewhere I read that charity begins at home and then spreads abroad. Until we straighten up the mess in our home as it relates to our elected officials, we're going to forever have the problems that we are having in this state. And it's not going to get better. I call ourselves what we are. We are on our way to becoming Detroit, Michigan, during the time that it was a mess. And right now, it's a mess right now with the position that we are in. But look, Doc, we got to do this here. You're going to have to come on. I know you slow down, and I know you're busy, but you're going to get back in the studio and you'll have to talk some more.
We'll do it, man. We'll do it. We get together sometime.
All right. I appreciate you here.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Richard, a psychologist, and he's in the mental health business. And he's a great guy. And if you know someone that needs some mental health to talk to, I'll give you his number, and we get him in here and talk about mental health and some other things. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate it. It is 1 minute before I get off the air. I appreciate you tuning in and being a part. Hey, you have a blessed and safe and prosperous weekend. I look forward to it. In the words of my grandmother, she always said, if it's the Lord's will and the creek don't rise, we will see you on Monday And remember what I said. I said trust everyone, but do not trust the devil inside. God bless. Take care.